Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2, gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2, gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe. Skip it. Let's go. I said, how you gonna duck them takers? I said, man, them dudes maniacs, bro. You wildin', bro. I said, bro, listen. I hope you ain't. I said, bro, I hope you ain't got nothing to do with this. I seen you at the phone. He was like, no, I just put some money with it to get the pills. That's what I said, man. Look, bro, you. I said, so what he gonna get? What he gonna pay them dudes? What he gonna pay them dudes then? He was like, oh no. He was like, he ain't paying them nothing this time around. He was like, they ain't gonna know. He was like, they ain't gonna know. I was like, how they ain't gonna know? He said, because. He said, man, I'm gonna get somebody. We got somebody that'll pump the junk for us. I was like, who, bro? He was like, he called dude name. The dude name he called is another dude from Richmond. Now, this dude from Richmond is slightly kind of like brown skinned dude. He looked like he was older than all of them, probably like late 20s, early 30s. He looked like he was older than all of my little my roommate and his little crew. Had a little size to him, everything. He used to do his push-ups, work out, hit the pull-up bar. You know what I mean? He probably like 6 feet. He wasn't small at all. Pause. You know what I mean? So they was like, we gonna give it to him. So I was like, man, you gonna let Richmond pump that jank? I was like, man, dude's gonna know. He was like, no, ain't nobody gonna know. They gonna think it's his. I was like, what he charging y'all? He was like, he ain't really charging like that. So I'm like, man, all right, I guess y'all got it under control. I said, but you need to be careful, bro. He was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I was like, all right, I left it alone. So through the week, you could tell that Jay and Smith kind of was like, all right, after they got dude, the woman got back, and they got Petersburg for half a Zipperooski game. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of loud pack, man. So like for real, they scored, man. They willing to take those type of risks. They willing to try people like this and hope nobody put their hands on them, man. Like, this is a crazy job for them to have, but this is their job, man. So I can remember, man, it was the Barber dude. Like, it was crazy how I caught an encounter with these maniacs, but the Barber dude, it was like the way the Barber situation was on Greensville it was crazy, man, because like they have a barber, but the barber is the dude in the population block upstairs. You know what I mean? Now the dude in the population block upstairs, he can call you, or you gotta write on a paper and set an appointment up. Like, I was getting visits while I was up there. I want my stuff edged up, you know what I mean? Like every Friday or something like that. So once I got cool with the barber, which he was from Richmond, he was super cool. I can't remember bro's name because he was a real barber on the street, light skinned dude, had the goals. But like me and him, I got cool, and like he had it set up where I can just come up to the block and get an edge up, because sometimes it'll be the other barber and you might can't get in. So he had it set up where he'll get me called from his block for me to come up to his block, and then I'll come up there and he'll have a little chair already set up and I just sit there, and bro had his own stuff. He had his own clippers, all of that to do what he needed to do. So I was straight. So I remember when I went up there, man, because I was getting a visit. I remember when I went up there. So when I go up there, I never knew what part those two maniacs was in. I knew they was just upstairs. Like, this was my first time upstairs when I did this first haircut. So when I get in the pod, as soon as I walk in, I see the dudes. I see the dude Jay, and I see the dude Smith. They sitting over there, so I spot. I was like, oh, they over here. So then I walk in, you know what I mean? I see the barber dude. Barber dude's like, all right, come on right here. He gave me the sheet, put over my little shirt. So I sat back. He just started knocking my jump down. You know what I mean? So we kicking it. So as we kicking it, I look up. I see the dude Smith walk up. The bald head dude. He walked up crazy too. Like, I'm facing they block. I can look at their TV like I'm in a little seat right there. I look up. As he hit my jump down, like I look, you know, sometimes you might close your eyes, sometimes I look up like this. When I look up, I just see the bald head dude coming across the floor like, you in the cell with Lil T Shaw? I said, what? He said, you in the cell with Lil T Shaw? I said, yeah, that's my roommate. Well, I was good. He was like, shh, they got some la. I was like, who? He was like, him and Red. I don't know. He said, man, you look high, Shaw. I said, I look like I almost, it could get this can get crazy, but like he questioning me, but you got to understand, this is a maniac. He don't care I'm about to go home. So he'll crash anyway just to make an example. So I gotta move extra careful. I can't let words be my demise in a situation like this. So I'm like, I look high. I was like, bro, listen. I was like, bro, I look like I'm off the la. I was like, man, come on, bro. I was like, come on, man. I was like, so what you saying though? He was like, no, I ain't saying nothing. Like he turned it all into a joke. Like he was super serious. The next thing you know, a smile came. He was like, I ain't saying nothing. I was just messing with you. I was like, I thought y'all got some la. Like he wasn't even expecting for me to say that. He was acting like I didn't witness him just rob somebody downstairs in the salad port, y'all. So boom. I seen it with my own 2 eyes. I was right, y'all was right there. I was right here. I seen it. I said, I thought y'all had some la. He was like, I like him, Shawty. Yeah, I like him, Shawty. No, I ain't got no more. What, you trying to buy some? I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm about to go to the crib. I ain't really, I'm cool, man. This came from Lawrenceville. That junk was la land. Like, this right here is toy land right here. Like, I'm good. Like, I had fun. He was like, yeah, I'll just ask him. He was like, man, but look, yo Sally from Richmond, Shawty. I was like, I ain't know what to say, but I'm like, he keep questioning me. I'm like, nah, he ain't from Richmond. He was like, he looked back at his homeboy dude, Jay. He was like, I told you. He was like, I told you he ain't from the city. What you talking? I told you. So they dipped. So when they dipped, my barber was like, you know them? I was like, no, I don't know them. He was like, well, how you know your roommate? I said, because my roommate messed with the dude from y'all way, dude Red. He was like, oh, you talking about the young boy, the light-skinned young boy? I was like, yeah. He was like, shh. He was like, man, tell your roommate start hanging with him, man. I said, why you said that? He was like, because he always be into something the whole time on his compound. He said, ever since I knew that young boy, he into something. He got something going on that ain't gonna turn out right. He said, tell your roommate start hanging with him, Shorty. I said, man, listen, I can't tell my roommate nothing. My roommate got his mind made up that that's his ace. That's his homeboy. Like, he was like, man, all right. I was like, what's up with dude in them though, man? I was like, dude, crazy aggressive, man. He was like, man, that's just him, man. He real, they ain't going home. He was like, for real, Smith got 54 years. I was like, man, get that. I was like, man, 54 years. I said, man, come on, bro. He was like, he got 54 years. I was like, man. He was like, then this little homeboy Jay, he just was wild, following him dude around doing anything. He was like, man, for real, man. That dude they robbed downstairs early in the week. He was like, I had rock with dude, man. Dude, I used to cut his hair. He said, I used to cut his hair. He used to look out for me, throw me feeses, throw me anything I wanted with the la, man. He said, these dudes moving out blind. He said, when I seen them moving in, being from Richmond or not, he said, I was mad, shawty. So boom. So he gave me the rundown. So I had a better understanding. Like I had a nice mapped out history file of some maniacs, man. Like he pulled out the maniac file and he ran it down, man. These two dudes fit the description, man. They psychos. So like I say, I have seen this before. But like when you see it, you already like been on the compound for a while and you know how it's gonna turn out. You know how dudes are. You know you can't really be nothing they ain't gonna like throw you off that you haven't seen these guys done yet. You know what I mean? So like when you see takers on the other spots that you've been on for a while, it don't bother you because a taker know who he gonna take from. You know what I mean? A taker ain't just picking a random dude where he knows it's gonna be major trouble. But I'm on a new camp, so I'm looking at it from those type of eyes, and it's just different to witness. It's different to witness these dudes on this type of time, man. But I just already knew that it wasn't looking good for my roommate, like and his homeboy. I knew it, man. So I get my haircut, I come down. You know what I mean? I go back to the block. I go back downstairs. I get in the block. When we lock down, I see my celly. I say, look, man, dude cut my hair. Just gave me the whole count, man. He said, this dude's from Richmond. He said, man, them dudes maniacs, man. I said, look. I said, between us, don't say nothing. I don't say nothing to Red. He was like, what? I said, man, look, give me your word. You ain't gonna say nothing to Red. He was like, is it something like that, dude? I said, bro, look, I'm not telling you if you tell. He was like, man, all right, my word. I said, man, I'm telling you, don't put me in nothing, man. He was like, I got you. I said, man, look. I said, man, word, old head asked me, was you my roommate? I asked him why. He was like, man, they asked me, you was from Richmond. He was asking me questions without giving me answers back. I said, that's what made it weird. He asked me, was you my roommate? Then he asked me, was you from Richmond? Then they started acting like I told you and all of that. I said, so either way, it don't look like something good is in the future for y'all, man. So I said, man, for real, bro. I said, man, you should tell bro, man, like y'all don't waste your money on them pills, bro. He was like, what? I said, bro, man, there's no need. I said, you won't have to deal with them dudes, bro. So they about to run out of la. So that means they gonna want y'all stuff when y'all get it. He was like, nah, we ain't doing it like that. My roommate turned to a Richmond dude. He was like, I'm getting my pills, shawty. Nah, I'm getting my pills. I said, man, you ain't even from Richmond, so boom. I ain't want to do it though, man. I just, I'm about to hit the crib. So, I hear stuff, I see stuff, and that's all it be. So I continue minding my business. The week is going through though. The week is moving. The week ain't moving slow. The week is moving fast. the week is moving fast, man, because at the end of the day, my roommate and his homeboy gonna get this package on the weekend. So it's probably like Wednesday now. You know what I mean? Those dudes, you see them now, like when they get somebody, or even when they have something. Just like I noticed when my Red gave them something the first time, you ain't really see them like that. You know what I mean? Like I told y'all, Jersey had told me like, yo, bro, them dudes love the Lala. He was like, they don't do nothing else. He said they don't do no other jumps. He said they love the Lala. If they get anything else, they be selling it. You know what I mean? But he was like, they love that Lala though. So when they get stuff, they disappear. You don't see them being maniacs. You don't see these two dudes being maniacs, man. But now that I told y'all when I went to get my cut, it was like he told me they jump was about done. So now I see them. They all out at the child. They all out in the hallway. They looking dudes all in their eyeballs like real cyborg Terminators. It just, you know what I mean? It was just like it was, I know they made people feel uncomfortable, especially the people in that population part that know them. Like, they done brought 2 robbers up there, man. So like, you seen it. Like, they checking it out. Then I seen them hollering at the dude Red one time, and Red just was having a normal conversation. Red was just standing there like, you just talking to him. Nice little normal conversation, man. But the whole time, these dudes is checking the trap. These dudes is checking the trap. Next thing you know, Thursday roll around. I see my roommate and Red. They had the phone. Look like they trying to put it together again. You know what I mean? So I don't say nothing to my roommate. Friday roll around. When Friday roll around, I look up. I see the dude Red. He got the dude who they told me that was going to be messing with the Lala for them, man. The dude at the phone, man. So I see him, the dude from Richmond. The kind of big dude. So I see Red at the phone. My roommate sitting on the bench right there by the phone. But they all by the phone. So the dude on the phone doing like this. He like, yeah. Man, rapid right. I heard that from afar. I was like, I'm tripping. He ain't say that. He like, Scotch tape. I was like, what the? I called my roommate. I was like, I'm just so used to the La-La game. I promise you, sometimes I'll turn into the La-La police, y'all, so boo. I called my roommate. I was like, yo, hey man, tell him don't be talking like that over the jack, bro. He wild. And he was like, he looked at my roommate. He was like, he caught my drip. He was like, hey y'all, man, come here, y'all, what, y'all loud. My roommate was like, y'all loud. Dude was like, man, just make sure, yeah, handle that. I will call you back. Yeah, just make sure. Get the phone back. Red was like, Red got on the chat. I was like, bro, that was loud. That was super loud. Like, bro, just put all his business on front screen. But I don't care, though. That's up to him. I done forgot about their whole plan that they told me. I'm not even thinking about that no more at this moment. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm being a La-La police at this time. Like, that joke was crazy. So I'm like, man, that joke wild. So we locked down. When we locked down, my roommate come back in the cell. I'm like, yo, bro, that's y'all. I was like, yo, bro, y'all was wilding, bro. I was like, y'all was wilding. Being that loud, saying, talking stuff like that on the jack, bro. He was like, he went to the door, he looked, he was like, he sat right down on the box. He was like, man, that was a throw off, huh? I was like, a throw off? He was like, yeah, that was a throw off, man. He was like, yeah, see, we smart too. Yeah, we smart too. I was like, what you mean? He was like, no, we just let him get on the phone and act like around the whole Richmond crew that he getting the package, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, for real, man? I was like, you think that junk gonna work? He was like, yeah, it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work. I'm like, all right. I mean, let it go. Saturday roll around. Saturday always look like this. Early in the morning, it's quiet, clean, sun beaming through the joint unless it's cloudy. You know what I mean? Dudes in the shower. You might smell some food cooking. College football is on. Everybody's getting ready for the VI game. That's how Saturday's looking there. Early game. So you will see it moving around. Dudes going outside. Dudes chasing. Dudes trying to find whatever their preference is. That's how it go down in any penitentiary on Saturday. This is how it's looking in Greensfield at this time, man. So I come out. You know what I mean? I hit the steps. Nice day. You know what I mean? See what's going on. Seeing Jersey on the phone. Let me get out to you. Jersey's all right. Jersey get off the phone. I get over there. He got a chair and everything. I sit in a chair. I'm facing the door when the door come in. When the door open, I look up. I see him. Dude, Red. He come back in cool. You gotta give your pass to the booth. He was like, he already had his shirt untucked. He was like, open my door. Give the pass. He walked away. My roommate, you know, he young and dumb. He ain't got nothing else to do. He met him on his walk. Like, they walking together. I'm like, yeah, he got the package. I'm like, why my roommate pull up on him? He's a freaking young rookie. He wildin'. So he walked to his cell. You know what I mean? He go to his cell. Bro in his cell for a minute. throw the cut up. My roommate standing by the door like he's security. He ain't gonna bust a grip. He's standing by the door. Cut come down, one up long. Next thing you know, they dip. You seen them talking to the big dude. Big dude probably waited about an hour, man. I promise you, man. We on standby for dinner. When we on standby for dinner, I look up. Stop paying them attention. I look up. I hear dudes calling the dude from Richmond. Hey, Richmond! Hey, Richmond, they want you at the door. They want you at the door, yeah. My roommate come back in the room. He was like, hey, roll this up, man. I was like, what's this? He was like, it's some loud. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, for count time for us. I'm about to get a bogey too then, bro. I run down to my homeboy selling Jersey, introduced me to. They be having the bogeys. I gonna get a bogey from him. He got the tobacco game. I gonna get a bogey from him. Like, yeah. So everything was straight. We go to dinner. When we go to dinner, I don't see the maniacs, which was strange. It was strange that I didn't see these psychos. Like, this was a strange thing that, you know, this, like, somebody got it. When somebody got it, you see these dudes, man. Like, they gonna be on deck. Didn't see these dudes, so I ain't paying no attention. So our whole pod went regular through the whole rest of the night. After we came back from dinner lockdown, came back out, our whole junk going regular. My pod in there chasing. Now, of course, the dudes in the intake next door, they have advantage to buy from us too, or we can buy from them. Like, we had the advantage. Whoever you next door to, when you go mess with the Lala or the tobacco game, when it's Empire Rec, they had a little door. I said this before, it's a door you walk in all the way in the back, and it's like a fence, a gate that's separating it slightly, but on the other side of it is the other pod. So they coming into their little room to do the same thing with the Lala or the tobacco. So dudes be in there, you can communicate or you can score, pass a bag around, same routine. So like they in there slanging and banging to everybody in the intake pod, in our pod. So I see my roommate, they keeping it cool. Him and Red, they at the table playing casino, like they throwing it all. I see the big dude slightly from Richmond moving around. You know, he moving around. You can't tell him. He got his shirt off. He moving around. I guess he done hit one of them pills. And my roommate, you can tell him and Red done hit one of them pills too, because they just became like mighty calm and chill out of nowhere. Like they won't make it no noise. But the dude moving around. So that whole night, he was doing his thing. Like, we come back out later on that night. Everybody was stoned. I was stoned. Everybody was stoned. Me and Jersey got stoned later again. You know what I mean? It was a good night. We locked back down. Morning time come, we get up for breakfast. Man, I promise you, man, when we get up for breakfast, man, like, we was eating last. So, as we eating last, we waiting to go to the chow hall. Man, I look up, man, and I seen the two dudes in the block. And I was like, these niggas going to breakfast with us? I was like, man, hold on, man. But Smith was blending in so good. He had his orange Scully on. He was standing over there by the Richmond dude. He was behind the big dude from Richmond. He was like, the big dude from Richmond got the package. And dude Smith standing right behind him like he was trying to hide. But he blended in. But I'm like, he 229 and then I'll jump. He like, I look up, I see the dude, Jay. He's sitting on the bench talking to the other Richmond dude looking like they looking at TV. He got his glasses on and everything. I'm like, these dudes some real calculated maniacs, y'all. So boom. I promise you, they played it off nice. Exit for breakfast, exit for chow. Time to exit. Everybody leave out. We leave out for breakfast. Go to chow hall. We get to chow hall. I'm in the joint, man, pancakes. Like, that's the only really try I used to like eating on Greensville at breakfast time was their pancake game. That was the only thing worth eating the meat for breakfast. But eating a breakfast tray, slaughter that joint, time to go back. But the whole time I was in there, I'm looking, I don't see my roommate or Red or the big dude from Richmond or the psychos, but they 229, so I don't know what was going on. So I ain't paying no attention to Jersey. I was like, yo, you see my roommate? He was like, nah, I ain't see them. I said, bro, you see them dudes? The dudes that was in the block? He was like, I was like, what you think they in the block for? I said, they must mess with the big dude from Richmond. He was like, man, look, they don't care about that Richmond shit. I was like, man, that's crazy. As we walking back to the block, as we getting in the block, man, I promise you, man, you look, I see my roommate, I see the dude Red, and I see the big dude from Richmond roommate. They all by the door. Like you can see like a little something going on. So my steps, I can't go by where they standing at. My steps is like as soon as you come in the park. So I go up the steps, but I'm still penning the joint. I'm like, looking, I start walking down the team, I'm still looking. I come down the steps that way after I went and put my shirt and jacket up. Come down the steps. Like this. I'm looking, I'm like, when I look, I can see right in bro said as I'm coming down the steps, I look, I can see the dude from Richmond. He's sitting on his butt, sitting on the floor. He got like this towel on his freaking head, man. Like he's just sitting there and like you can see the blood just dripping off the little rag or towel, whatever that was he got on his head. So he just sitting on the floor like this, looking crazy. So I'm like, so crazy, man. I was like, man, what the hell? My roommate was like, I was like, come here, bro, what happened, bro? He was like, man, Jay and Smith robbed him, man. I was like, what? He was like, he robbed him, man. I'm messing with him. I said, so what y'all gonna do? He was like, I ain't doing nothing. Yeah, he ain't robbed me. I said, what Red gonna do? He was like, Red said the same thing. He ain't robbed me. I said, yes, he did. I said, bro, that was y'all work. I'm just scaring him, though. I'm just trying to see where it's hot at. I said, bro, didn't y'all say that was y'all work, bro? He was like, yeah, but we gave it to him. I said, bro, didn't he supposed to pay y'all? He was like, yeah. I said, bro, that's y'all work then, bro. He was like, man, go ahead, Weezy. I said, no, I'm messing with you, bro. I said, well, look, bro, you better be careful, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Them niggas come around the cell, bro. I'm not playing, bro. Keep them niggas away from the cell, bro. He be like, no, he ain't coming around the cell. You know what I mean? So the big dude didn't go to the hole. The big dude didn't go to the hole, man, which was a shocker to me. You know what I mean? Like, but I thought the big nigga can fight, to be honest with y'all, man. But like, I don't know what happened. So I'm waiting to hear what happened. So my roommate, he's not going into major details. We come back out. I go down the steps. I see Jersey and Doc sitting at the table. I pull up at the table. Jersey like, yo, man, that joint crazy, man. He was like, them two dudes, man, came down here, man, put the knife to dude, hit him in the head with the knife, beat him up, took his package, bro. I'm like, who? He was like, man, them dudes upstairs, bro, the two dudes. I'm like, who, Jay and Smith? He like, yeah. I'm like, I was like, man, these dudes real deal takers. But I was like, dude, they gonna try. He was like, nah, bro, unless you want to have a knife fight. He said, if you want to have a knife fight, that's the only way you get back at them, man. That's the only way you get back. I'm like, man, that joint is so sad that these dudes was on that type of time. Like, that's wild, right? I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, for real, man. Like, maybe I was just looking at it and feeling this way because I was about to go to the crib. But like, when I'm telling y'all how these dudes getting down, there are dudes like this in every prison, man. Like, this is prison protocol, right? You got robbers, just like robbers on the street. You got robbers in penitentiary, y'all, so boom. I'm still kind of worried about my roommate, but he got to make his own decisions at the end of the day because I'm hearing about this violence, knife, dude leaking, all type of stuff. You know what I mean? All type of stuff. It's crazy. You know what I mean? So big dude finally emerged. You go get on the phone. He probably feeling like, I want my package anyway. You know what I mean? So he took his lick or whatever the case. He's not trying to get no retaliation at all. At all. He actually turned into a model citizen. To be honest with y'all, man, the man won't doing nothing no more. He definitely wasn't sniffing up there trying to find out about Jay and Smith. So he took his L. Red took the L. Red wasn't even looking at it like, you know what I mean? Like the word got back, which my roommate told me that Red only gave him the fees to sell, you know what I mean? And a little bit of the money to sell for some money. And then my roommate gave him some little bit of pills, you know what I mean? But see, my roommate told me he had about 30 pills. You know what I mean? He had a nice little stack. It was a little loss that they took, but it wasn't a major loss. So that's how they was looking at it, man. You know what I mean? So young dude, so the dude's still in there. He didn't, like I say, he didn't go to the hole. Next thing you know, we got wrecked. Got wrecked, man. Like when I'm at my cell, I can look out my window and I can see the backyard, which is where the rec yard is at, in the backyard. The Greensville joint is in their backyard. So I'm looking out the window at Gangland. I'm looking at that jump and I'm just like, I just always look out that jump because I'll work out sometime in the cell. And after I finish, I'll just sit on my bed and I'll be like, man, I'm glad I'm about to go to the crib, man. Look at this jump. Man, they got triads. They got everybody on this joint, man. They got bikers. They got everybody on this compound, man. I'm glad I'm about to go home. So I'm looking outside and I see the dude, Jay and Smith. They talking to the big dude from Richmond. You know what I mean? They hollering at him. I spotted. I'm like, I spot the big dude. I'm like, he talking to them? He was talking to him. He won't move his arms or nothing. He was like this. He was on the fence. He had his back to the fence like this with his foot on the joint. He was just, then Jay and Smith was on each side of him. He was like, and the dude just was talking. He was being real calm about it. They was just having a conversation. I was like, man, I don't know, man. That right there look a little fishy game. That's when it looked at me. It looked a little fishy game. Immediately, I see my roommate. I call him because my roommate didn't go upstairs. I said, yo, I get my door. I said, come here. He was like, man, he was like, about to use the phone again. I said, man, come here, man. Young boy, come up the steps. He went up the steps like a little boy. He was like, he get up the steps. I said, look, bro. I grabbed him by his head, mushed him. Man, walk over there, man. He was like, he looked out the window. He was like, what? I said, man, look right there. I said, who you see right there? He was like, who, Jay and Smith? I was like, yeah, but who they talking to? He was like, oh, dude, he talking to this dude. What he talking to them for? I was like, bro, what you think? I said, bro, he about to get y'all up, bro. He was like, nah, he ain't, because we looked out for him again. I was like, man, all right, man, you know what I mean? So Rhett about to come back. Rhett come back. They come back from that back door I was telling y'all about where we go mess with the Lala at. They don't come from the front. It depends if you on that part of the yard. I have seen them let the front out and you'll come right, because our building was right by the gate. You know what I mean? So we come through the back sometime too though, so everybody come back. I'm standing on the joint. I look. As I seen coming through the back, I looked up and I seen the dude, Jay, come through first. He came through like, he was like a real maniac. He came through, he was like, he went straight over there and stood by his homeboy from Richmond like, no, he was quiet, nice and quiet like this. He went, I looked up again. I seen Smith coming in. Smith was like, he just walked in nice and quiet. He sat on the floor right by the last cell. He was sitting there. He looking at everybody come in like a maniac. He like, he sit on his butt on the floor. He looking, Jay over there. You know what I mean? They got all perimeters covered, man. Like real takers, man. These dudes real takers. They got all perimeters covered. The back door and the front door. They got the perimeter covered in that joint, my word. So they had a joint. I see him. I'm like, man, my word, man. My roommate in the cell. I'm like, I look at my roommate, because y'all know it ain't no windows in Greensville joint. You can put your hand through that door, like they window shit on the door. You can put your whole arm through it, which I don't know why there's no window on that joint, man. But my roommate in the cell, so I could see him sleeping on the top bunk, because I slept in the second cell from the top tier on the top, on the back wall. So I'm standing like down here. I can see my roommate on the top bunk. So I'm like, I call him. He spot me. I'm I'm getting him to look like, he like, I'm like, bro. He like, he tried to act like he ain't hear me. Like when we had this conversation later, he tried to act like he ain't hear me basically. Like, so he like, it's super loud in the park. People coming back. I'm like, I ain't trying to scream and I ain't want to run up there. I ain't want to do nothing too crazy, but he knew what I was saying. I'm like, you niggas in here. Like, if he could read my mind, I should have them niggas in here. Ain't motherfucking niggas in here, bro. Motherfucking niggas in here, bro. Them niggas, who? Them niggas, bro. That's who in here, them niggas, bro. That's what my mind was saying to his ass, but according to him later on, he didn't hear what I was saying. He said, I see his little butt getting back on the bed. He get back on the bed. I'm like, maybe that's where he need to be. I looked up at Red standing by himself like this. He got his back holding the door, not holding the door, but with the door open up, he like this. He don't even see Smith and goddamn the nigga goddamn Jay. He don't even see them. So as soon as Red was back, close the door, boom. Front door closed, boom. Next thing you know, you see Smith get up. Smith start walking. It's a straight shot to get to bro cell. It's a straight shot to get to the dude Red cell. He start walking. Like, Jay coming from this way. Jay took the long way. Jay coming the other way. Like, I'm watching these. I'm like, yo, I promise you, this was me. These dudes would have to take me out. I promise y'all, man. So boom. These dudes were so brave, man. But I'm at a new camp. This is how they get down. They came both ways like this. When I looked up, Smith was right there by Red. He was like, hey, me holler at you, shorty. Red was like, but what? He was like, yeah, all right. Tell him close your door. Where roommate at? He was like, I looked, already seen Jay. Jay was already telling somebody, tell him close that door. You know what I mean? So as somebody closed the door, she said, boom, the door closed. Boom. Next thing you know, I look up. The dude Smith is in there with the dude Red. Next thing you know, the cut go up. It was quiet at first. It was like, lady was like, stand by for child. Stand by for child. You going first. Stand by for child. Stand by for child. I mean, everybody stopped moving around. My roommate, he started out like he still ain't hear me. That's why I say he out like he ain't hear me. Man, I promise you, man, all you heard was, boom! That shit sounded like somebody hit the ground hard as hell. I don't know what that shit said. Boom! And they said, man, fuck, give me that shit. The dude Jay was like this, standing by the door. He was looking like anybody move. Then he did like this as he looked around again. As dude started looking, he did like this. He was like, he had a knife, but he had it tucked like behind, like it was behind his arm, but he was like, he got closer to the door. He was like, he whispered something through the crack. He probably was like, yo, hurry up. He stood back by the door like this with the knife tucked. He was like, I'm looking up like, this chunk crazy. Let me get rid of that shit. You heard some more noise in there. Get rid of that shit. Fuck wrong with you, man. Fuck wrong with you, man. That was wrong with you. I was like, oh, shit. Next thing you know, You hear the nigga Smith was like, hey, Jay, come here, Jay. Get in here. Get in here. I can't get it. I need your help. Get in here. I was like, what the fuck? Man, this is my word. That nigga Jay was like, he told the dude from Richmond, he was like, hold this, Shaw. Get dude from Richmond the hammer. Dude from Richmond still right there. Hold him down. I'm like, shit nuts. Where the hell they move me to? He holding the cell down. Jay go up in the joint. He pull the joint. He squeeze up in the joint. Get in there. Man, my word, man. I just look, man. I just seen goddamn Jay snatching the nigga. He was snatching, man. He was snatching his jeans off. Man, he was snatching his jeans off, man. That's my word. He was like, Smith was like, it's in his jeans. He got all his jeans. He won't get it. Jay was like, man, that's word. I looked up, you just seen Jay coming out cell like this with a pair of jeans. He was like, Smith got up. Smith was like, motherfucker, you tell anybody. Motherfucker, you tell. I don't give a fuck where you from, pussy. Then you tell anybody you fucking trying to get past me. You can't get. He just started beating the hell out of Ray. He was like, you trying to get. That nigga Sweet Jay turned around. Jay was like, man, Smith, come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck you doing, Charlotte? That nigga Smith was like, he looked back. He was like, fuck. He just started blacking out some more on that young nigga. I was like, oh, shit. Niggas beat that nigga ass. My word, he beat that nigga ass. The niggas got out. Nigga Smith got out. He was like, that nigga Jay threw on the shirt. He was like, he wiped the blood off his hand. I was like, oh shit. Goddamn, he was like, acting for child. Man, these cycles got away again, y'all. So boom. I couldn't believe it, man. Niggas got away. We went to eat. I didn't go eat. When the pod came back, everything was straight. Some goddamn red roommate. He looking scared, like he don't want to go in the cell. Blood everywhere. Shit fucked up. Turned boxes over in that bitch. It's looking like it's mayhem in his damn cell. So he don't want to go in. He don't want to go in, man. So now my roommate finally emerged because I still didn't go up to my cell. And I'm watching all this maniac shit when they go off a child and everything. So my roommate finally emerged. I was like, bro, it's a good thing you stayed your ass in the cell. He was like, why? I said, bro, go look at your homeboy. My word, my roommate went over there. He was like, man, who the fuck did this shit? He tried to snap out. I'm like, bro, you better calm your monkey ass down. I said, you willing to take it to a knife? He was like, he was snapping at first. So I was like, man, you better calm your little young ass down, man. My word, they came in the count. Man, they came in the count, man. My roommate still acting like he feels some type of way. They come in the count and they seen me, bro. Man, he beat the shit out, bro. Man, Smith beat the shit out that nigga, man. That's my word. They took that nigga. They took the nigga before count. Police came in that bitch when this cell. Fucking blood every fucking way. His roommate saying he don't know what the fuck happened. Next door neighbor saying they don't know what happened, man. Probably about a little bit later on that day, when we finally came back out, man, niggas was like, yo, they locked the dude Smith and Jay up. You know what I mean? They locked them up, man. So the young boy told. You know what I mean? Probably was, they scared the shit out of him, man. You know what I mean? Like, that shit was crazy, man. They robbed their own nigga, man. Like, but shit cutthroat in there. That's just how it go, man. But they locked Jay and Smith up. That was the word I got. When we came back out, that was the word they were saying. They locked them up. You know what I mean? So, like, they didn't even get a chance to enjoy it. I don't know if they left that stuff with somebody. They still got them, man. But that was just so crazy to witness, man. Like, some dudes that was down. No, these dudes was like cyborgs, man. Like, they didn't joke around. I never seen those two again. Roommate homeboy, I never seen him again, man. Like, my roommate stayed in the cell with me probably like 3 more months, then he finally went to the hole. He crashed out with somebody from Richmond again, man. But at the end of the day, man, like, he ducked that whole situation because he knew what was going on. He knew what I was telling him. He told me he didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. So he went and laid back down because he was watching something. He was happy that he was watching something. Because if he would have went down there, he would have been part of that situation, man. And he would have had to deal with those dudes, man. So everything happened for a reason. I'm glad he was scared. He'll never admit it, but I'm glad he was scared, man. But that was just wild watching those dudes be takers on Greensboro. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. But that was a crazy situation. And that's the end of the damn story, though. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all know the count, man. Stay your ass out the way for you to spend every holiday and every Thanksgiving and Christmas and every year with your family, period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was the Tuesday Banger Game. Let's start the week off right, man. Like, share, subscribe, that's why y'all. Let's get it. Skip. Let's go. But y'all be safe and stay your ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get pay for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to